if I had a good editor, I would say, okay, well, let's lead in with some Taylor Swift, We're Never Getting Back Together, and then I would like, okay, well, don't. So I guess I'll just say that and show you this. This is kind of funny. Blah, 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 blah. Like, I got a funny story about that. Not really a funny story. This is, here I am in La Jolla, and I was one of those Facebookers. Facebook, there's always these certain people that kind of, we've been around it enough that, there's the overly philosophical person. I think that was me. And then there's the over poster, and then there's the overshare. And that was me. I was basically Fibonojji on a keyboard and caffeine. And I ran a mortgage company, and I just used it as a smoke break. Facebook was kind of a way that I connected with people, and I'm still on it. I think I have like 300 friends, 315. One time I had 500, and then the bell kind of went off. I'm like, dude, I don't have 5 real friends in real life. And then, so I started befriending people and went from 500, and slowly, I have decided to kind of get off it. Almost, I'm on it on my laptop, and I use it as a smoke break. But back to blah, blah, blah. I was such an over-poster, oversharer. I was the guy that was always rambling, that I would literally just start saying blah, 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 like that. And it's the reason why that's kind of a funny, not funny story is if I were to post this, people would like it. Some friends some virtual friends would think it was funny. But 2 or 3 days ago, I took a picture of that and I sent it to my friend whose husband had just killed himself, and he was father of 4. He for whatever reason he killed himself, and and you're just seeing all the Facebook responses to his death, and you're just going, Facebook has kind of become I don't know. So I'm sitting here reading this stuff, and everybody's like, liking it, and like literally liking a suicide, and then they're kind of giving that typical, very cliche. You can just imagine, like, I'm so sorry, so stressed out. How are you doing? I'm like, yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, let's ask how she is and the kids. I mean, those are very relevant questions. But I just wonder how many of those phone calls actually happen. I mean, it's funny to like something on Facebook, and then it's another thing to did you call her? Did you reach out? And Facebook has kind of become a virtual reality of our friends. It's taken our relationships and it's commoditized it. And I'm sort of back to when I sent this blah, blah. I sent that picture to her. I reached out to her. What do you say to somebody whose husband, father 4, probably married 15 years or whatever, kills himself? And I just sent that to make her laugh, and I sent her some nature pictures, and then shockingly, this is the part about Facebook, I'm like, this is just not good. We are losing our souls. Probably a week later, 5 days later, the kids are starting back to school. She kind of does that, like that family trophy picture. She's like, and only 4 days after a suicide, these kids are ready to go to school. And it was like, rah, rah, the kid, and everybody's liking her shit on Facebook going, that's awesome, you're the best mom. And I'm like, yeah, she's a good mom. Probably one of the best moms that I know. Top 5, top 10. But I'm like, holy shit, that's not reality. Those kids, and taking a trophy picture of family, like, we're awesome. We're only back after a suicide, 4 days, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Of course, if I went on Facebook and were to do that, I would just say, hey, I want to talk about how much I hate Facebook, blah, blah, blah. So you can kind of cue out with some, I guess, you go back to the song, go back to, I don't think we're ever going to get back together again. And that is, as ridiculous as this video is, and with all my people walking around, we have to really start looking at Facebook, or at least allow the perspective of like, it's full of shit, and what it's doing to our relationships, and how we'll, I have family members that will, when I went through my civil trial, and I have 2 beautiful, healthy, happy, strong, lovely kids. And when I went through my civil trial, I didn't have 500 friends. I didn't have 3. I invested all this time into Facebook and these virtual relationships. I didn't have real relationships to fall back on. And when I was in that courtroom in West Texas, I was there alone. And the same family members that were liking my stuff, they weren't even calling me or texting me. My brother texted me yesterday, and he was telling me, I think he was having to watch the kids. He was talking about how tired he was. How tired he was to watch his own child. And, trust me, that could be an exhausting job. And I texted him back because, family, we don't actually make phone calls anymore. We don't actually have face-to-face conversations. I said, yeah, I haven't seen my children in over 2 years. And then he turned the subject, and I'm like, wow. So this is about Facebook and how, go into this experience, go into the civil trial. We have to look at the way technology is really, really corrupting, minimizing, demeaning, hurting, weakening relationships in real life. And, this, if I were to post this on Facebook, I'm not sure that it would even be really perceived well.